Maybe going to gym, waking up early, studying seriously. Day 1 you are excited. Day 2 you are still motivated. But around day 3 something changes. Suddenly you feel tired. You start making excuses and your motivation disappears. And even before you realize it, you quit. Then a few weeks later you try again and this cycle goes on repeating. So you start believing that something is wrong with you. Maybe you think you lack discipline. Maybe you think that you are just lazy. But here's the truth. The problem is not you. The problem is that you don't understand how your brain works when you start something new. There is a psychological pattern that causes most people to quit in first few days. And once you understand the pattern, you can break it. Today, I'm going to show why you always quit after 3 days and how you can stop this cycle permanently. Part 1. The pattern that most people don't notice. Let's look at what usually happens when you start a new habit. Day 1. You feel powerful, you feel motivated, you feel confident. You feel like this time will be different. You might wake up early, you start studying seriously, you might work out. Your energy is totally high. Day 2. You still feel good, you're still riding the wave of motivation. But day 3, something changes, the excitement fades away. And you start noticing how difficult actually this habit is. Your brain begins asking questions like, why I am doing this? Is this really necessary? Maybe I can skip today, and that skip slowly becomes quitting. This pattern happens again and again in people's life. Gym membership starts with excitement, but most people stop within weeks. Study plans start strong but disappears after few weeks. Morning routine begins with energy but slowly collapses. And this is just not about discipline, it's the brain chemistry. Part 2. The dopamine effect. When you start something new, your brain releases chemical, that is dopamine. Dopamine is often called a motivation chemical, but here's what most people don't know. Dopamine is not released when you succeed, it's mostly released with anticipation of success. In other words, the idea of becoming better feels exciting. The idea of becoming successful feels exciting. So, when you decide to start a new habit, your brain rewards you with dopamine. That's why day 1 feels amazing. You feel motivated. You feel unstoppable. The problem is dopamine spikes at the beginning of the journey, not during the boring middle. Once the novelty disappears, the dopamine level drops and suddenly the activities start feeling harder. The gym is no longer exciting. Study feels difficult. Morning routine is so painful. Nothing changes externally, but inside your brain, the chemical motivation has dropped. Part 3. The expectation versus reality gap. Reason why people quit so early is called expectation reality gap. When you start something new, your brain imagines fast result. You imagine getting fit quickly, improving your life quickly, becoming more productive quickly. But reality is different. Real progress is slow. Your body doesn't changes in 3 days. Your focus doesn't improve in few days. Your life doesn't transform overnight. So when your reality doesn't match your expectation, your brain feels disappointing. This disappointment reduces motivation. Your brain starts searching for easier activities that give you instant pleasure, like scrolling social media, watching videos, and eating junk food. These activity provides quick dopamine with little effort. Compared to them, difficult habit feels boring. So your brain tries to put you back to comfort. That's why quitting feels so tempting around day 3. Part 4. The third day danger zone. There is a phase in habit formation that psychologists sometimes describe as early resistant phase. This usually happens in the first week of habit formation. The excitement fades and habit is not yet automatic. You are stuck in uncomfortable middle. Your brain still wants the old habits. Your new habit still feels unnatural and this creates mental resistance. And most people quit in this stage. But people who build a strong discipline do something different. They expect this resistance, then know that motivation will drop. And instead of quitting, they continue anyway. That small decision to continue despite discomfort is what slowly builds discipline. And now the important question is how to break the cycle. How do you stop quitting after day 3? Here's the 4 simple but powerful strategies. Start smaller than you think. Most people fail because they start too aggressively. They go from doing nothing to start changing everything. For example, going to gym 1 hour daily, studying for 6 hours every day and waking up 5 am immediately. This creates a huge shock for your brain and your brain resists sudden uncomfortable decisions. Instead, start small, work out for 15 minutes, study for 30 minutes, wake up for 30 minutes early from your usual time. Small habit feels manageable, and when something feels manageable, your brain doesn't resist. Always remember, consistency is more powerful than intensity. Number 2, expect the motivation crash. Before starting a new habit, tell yourself something important, that on day 3, I will feel like quitting. When you expect the emotional drop, it becomes powerless. Instead of thinking, I lost motivation, think it's just a normal phase. This simple awareness can prevent many people from quitting early. Number 3, focus on identity, not result. Most people start a new habit because they want result. They want abs, they want recognition, they want to be successful. But results take time. If you will focus only on the result, you will lose patience quickly. Instead, focus on identity. Instead of saying I want to get abs, say I am a person who trains every day. Instead of saying I want good grades, say that I am becoming a person who studies daily. When you focus on identity, even a small action feels meaningful, and every small action feels valuable. Number 4, make the habit too small to quit. There will be days when you feel extremely unmotivated. On those days, you don't force yourself to do everything, just do a small version. If you don't feel like doing a full workout, do a 5 push-ups. If you don't feel like studying for hours, do it for 10 minutes. This might seem small, but this keeps the habit alive. Breaking the chain is dangerous, and keeping it alive builds discipline. Part 6, the truth about discipline. Many people feel that disciplined people are always motivated, but that's not true. Disciplined people also feel lazy. They also feel tired. They also feel like quitting. The difference is simple. They don't trust their emotions. They trust their system. They know that motivation comes and goes, but habit stays. People you admire didn't avoid those difficult days. They just survived more of them, especially the early ones. Especially the day 3 moment when quitting feels easiest. So the next time you're starting something new and around day 3 you feel like quitting, remember this, nothing is wrong with you. Your brain is just going normal in resistance phase. Don't panic. Don't restart next week. Just survive that moment, because if you can push through the difficult days, you give your brain time to adapt. And once the habits start becoming part of your identity, it stops feeling like discipline. It's who you are. And that's when real transformation begins. My aim is to provide clear, practical and scientific backed solution to real life problems and make at least 1% difference in your life. Because here we don't chase motivation, we build system that makes success inevitable.